In 2008, on the Arctic island of Svalbard in Norway, the world's largest seed vault was established. It was named the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, and its aim is to preserve the biodiversity of the crop species that feed humanity in the face of the possibility of a global catastrophe. That is why many call it the Doomsday Vault. Drawing inspiration from this idea, in 2016, in my PhD thesis in social education at the University of Granada, I proposed the idea of creating a similar place, but for cultural seeds. In my research, I reflected that if we wanted to survive as a species, the climate and extinction crisis in which we find ourselves increasingly immersed, we would need a swift and effective way to transform our global civilization. Based on the academic work of philosophers and social and natural scientists, I was able to demonstrate that one of the two quickest ways to transform a social system, such as human civilization, would require a shift in the collective worldview of our societies. Obviously, the question that followed was, how can we bring about such a shift in humanity's worldview? But what means? And the answer soon became clear. Through those cultural and educational elements which, since the dawn of history and across all human cultures, have been responsible for transmitting worldviews within their societies, their myths, legends, and traditional tales. This is how the Earth Stories Collection initiative came about. This is a global repository of myths, legends, and traditional tales from all cultures, specifically selected to convey a worldview capable of preventing the collapse of our civilization. In other words, a systemic worldview centered on the planet's living ecosystems and not exclusively on human beings. A worldview that regards the Earth as a living organism and respects her as such. In short, the worldview underpinning the Earth Charter, the most culturally inclusive international document produced to date. It is a statement of ethical principles and values for the new humanity emerging in the 21st century. The Earth Stories Collection was launched in 2019 and currently comprises a collection of 150 traditional stories from 77 nations, 74 cultures, and 21 spiritual or philosophical traditions. Meanwhile, this initiative is already having an impact on students and the general public in Europe, the Americas, Africa, and Asia, and is being featured in academic publications from universities such as Nottingham Trent University and the University of Edinburgh in the United Kingdom, the UNED and the University of Granada in Spain, the United Nations University for Peace, and Beijing Normal University in China. Furthermore, we intend to ask UNESCO to have the Earth Stories Collection designated as Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity once we have more than 200 traditional stories in our collection. However, the worsening global situation, with the rise of far-right political movements which deny climate change and international law, has led us to speed up the process previously set out for our collection. We are currently stepping up efforts to create the first global vault for cultural seeds, that is to say, in an attempt to preserve this cultural legacy which is so essential for the construction of an ecological civilization, so that should we fail to prevent the collapse of the human social system in time, a new civilization could be built from this systemic and ecological worldview, based on social and economic justice, democracy, non-violence, and peace. In short, to lay the foundations for a new civilization and a new humanity. This is why we are sharing this video with universities and public and private institutions, with the aim of finding allocation and financial support for the creation of Alcyone, the name that would be given to the first venue to house the Earth Stories collection, with a view to preserving it for the future. But, of course, and first and foremost, to disseminate it across the globe today, in an attempt to avert the disaster of which the scientific community has been warning us for decades. Would you be interested in finding out more about our initiative, or perhaps even having a chat with us? The Earth and her community of life, of which we humans are a part, cannot wait much longer. As Professor Donald Smith pointed out at the outset of this project, if not now, when?